All right, here's a lesson for 5.10, which is transformations of linear functions. All right, so the linear parent function is y equals x. Okay, y equals x. The linear parent function has a slope of 1 and a y-intercept of 0. So I would start at 0 and I would go up 1 over 1. Okay, so this is the parent of all linear functions. This is sort of where all linear functions get their start. So a lot of times when we talk about transformations, we talk about it in relation to the parent function. All right, so there's the linear parent function. All right, a linear transformation is a change in position or size of a figure. Now, there are different types of transformations that we're going to talk about for linear functions, okay? And we'll talk about them in pieces. So the first one is called a translation. Another word for that would be like a slide. If you change the y-intercept, the line is a translation, okay, or a slide. This is if you change the y-intercept. So for example, f of x equals 3x plus 6 is changed to g of x equals 3x minus 2. So we're going to graph these functions and describe the transformation. Well, I can describe the transformation before I graph it because I know that the slope is the same. So I know that they're going to be parallel. This y-intercept is 6 and this y-intercept is negative 2. So the one of them starts here and the other one starts here. So I can already tell you right now that this function, g of x, is shifted or translated down 8 units. All right, so let's graph f of x. Okay, so I'm going to graph f of x in black. 3x plus 6. So I don't have room to go up 3 over 1, so I'm going to go down 3. 1, 2, 3 over 1. 1, 2, 3 over 1. 1, 2, 3 over 1. All right, now the purple line has a slope of 3 and it starts at negative 2. So I'm going to go up 3 over 1. Up 3 over 1. Up 3, let's see, 1, 2, 3 over 1. Okay, or I could go down 3, 1, 2, 3 over 1. All right? So as you can see, these lines are parallel, but one is shifted, from f of x to g of x, it's shifted down 8 units. From 6 to negative 2 is down 8 units. All right, the next one is if you multiply the slope by negative 1, okay, if you multiply the slope by negative 1, the line is reflected. Reflected across the y-axis. So here we're talking about a positive slope versus a negative slope, or a negative versus a positive. So f of x is 1/3 x plus 2. Let's graph that. So I'm starting at 2. I'm going up 1 over 3, up 1 over 3, down 1 over 3, down 1 over 3. And then the other one is negative 1/3 x plus 2. So I'm still here at 2, but I'm going down 1 over 3 this way. Down 1 over 3 or up 1 over 3 this way. Up 1 over 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. So this is a reflection across the y-axis. Okay, so I'm going to say f of x was reflected across the y-axis to get g of x. So from f of x, it was reflected to get g of x. Now, if the y-intercept would have changed, then we would have also said that there was a shift or that it was translated. So it could be reflected and translated. But in this case, it was just reflected. Okay, and so I can go ahead and put my lines in here. There's one line, and here's the other line. Okay? So the steepness of these two lines is the same. The steepness is the same, they just go in different directions. All right, so the next thing we're going to look at is if you increase the absolute value of the slope, then the line is rotated, and if you're increasing, then it's going to get steeper. Now, why did I say the absolute value? I said the absolute value because of what I just talked about in the last page. Okay? This has a slope of 1/3 and this has a slope of -1/3. That is the same steepness. What's the absolute value of 1/3? It's 1/3. What's the absolute value of -1/3? It's 1/3. So do you see the steepness is the same? So that's why I'm talking about the absolute value here. I'm not taking into account the positive and the negative. All right, so let's look at f of x equals x minus 3 and g of x equals 5/2x plus 1. So this one has a slope of 1 and this one has a slope of 5/2. What's 5/2? Well, it's 2.5. Okay, so I have m equals 1 and I have m equals 2.5. So g of x is going to be steeper than f of x. Okay, so g of x will be steeper than f of x. What else changed? Well, the y-intercept changed from -3 to 1. So g of x is shifted or translated. Shifted. How many units? From -3 to +1 is shifted up 4 units. So it's going to be steeper and it's going to be shifted up 4 units. All right, so I'm going to start at -3 and I'm going to go up 1/1. Slope is 1. All right. And then the other one I'm going to do in red. The slope or the y-intercept is 1 and I'm going to go up 5/2. 1, 2, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/2. Or down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/2. All right, so again, you can see, that's not really on the point, but you get the point. Okay, so you can see that this line is steeper, and you can also see that it was shifted up 4 units. That's if you increase the absolute value of the slope. If you decrease the absolute value of the slope, the line is still rotated. Sorry, the line is rotated. Okay, it will be less steep. So I've got -3/2x and I've got -3/4x minus 5. All right, so I'm going to do this guy in green. Well, what's the y-intercept? Oh, it's 0, okay? So I'm going to go down 3/2. 1, 2, 3/2. 1, 2, 3/2. Up 3, 1, 2, 3/2. Up 3, 1, 2, 3/2. And this guy I'll do in purple. -3/4x minus 5. So I'm going to start at -5 and I'm going to go down 3. Oh, I can't go down, so I got to go up. Up 3. 1, 2, 3. and to the left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's still a negative slope. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, kind of went off the graph there, but. All right, so there is my original line, and here is my second line. Okay, so I have, this is f of x, and this guy is g of x. So how does g of x look different? Okay, well, it is less steep, so g of x is less steep. Okay, again, 3/4. I'm not worried about the negative sign. I want to take the absolute value. 3/4 is 0.75. That is smaller than 3/2, which is 1.5. Okay, so that's why we know it's less steep. And it's shifted. How is it shifted? Well, from here to here is down 5. Down 5 units. All right. So that is how you look at transformations, okay? Make sure you look at all the transformations that may be occurring, okay? Like in these last two examples, there was more than one transformation happening. Before coming to class, you need to do page 373, number 20 through 27. You do not have to graph them unless you want to and or that's helpful for you, okay? But answer the questions about the transformations before coming to class when these video notes are due. Enjoy, and I will see you in class.